Welcome to the Cop Doc. We're back. We're back to win money. Your number one tipster. Last week, we got 5 right out of 10 picks. The single picks. It was actually hard done. Like it's hard to make money. The singles are just predictions. They're not like nothing's a guarantee, obviously. But anyway, I'll try and make this quick because I said this week I'm not going to really get into it too much. I'm just going to try and spend a minute on each game. But anyway, 5 out of 10. I'll put it up here. How we done last week, and then me nap. I was unlucky. I know it didn't come in, but Liverpool to score a goal on both halves, and I had Man United +1. I personally had 100 quid on it, and didn't happen. I thought United has actually deserved more than what they did, which they deserve at least a draw. But look, that's football. It didn't come in. That was my nap for last week. It didn't come in, and as I said, we got 5 out of 10. So we'll have a crack at it again now. So let's start off with West Ham versus Chelsea. Chelsea drew 0-0 last week with Crystal Palace, as we know. I said Crystal Palace was a stiff team last week, with under 2.5 in the hour. West Ham, I don't have any belief in them. I think they're cursed since they let David Moyes go after them winning a European trophy. I just think bringing Potter in wasn't a great idea, and I think they're destined not to get relegated, but I don't have big hopes for them this season. So Chelsea obviously played a good Crystal Palace team last week. What would I do this game? A lot of these games are hard to choose from, or hard to make picks in. I think Pedro's a really, really good player, and I think Chelsea is scoring at least 2 goals in this game. So I'm just going to go with Pedro to score anytime, 6-4, because I'm thinking they're scoring a couple of goals. Next up, we have Man City and Tottenham. Now, Man City last week obviously beat Wolves 4-0. We had them to score a goal in both halves. I think, again, they're going to win. I think they'll beat Tottenham. But at the same time, I think Tottenham will be good enough to score a goal. So, Man City to win and both teams to score at 7-4. Spurs could be good for a goal. Thomas Frank will have them right. And I fancy them to score a goal, but I think Man City is going to score more. That's the bet I would do, 7-4 in this game. Next up, we have Bournemouth and Wolves. I find this a difficult game to pick from. Bournemouth actually were unlucky against Liverpool last week, if we're being honest. And Wolves obviously were beaten well by City. This game is hard to pick a price. I mean, I like value on bets. I don't like, if I have to put them in a will, 8 to 11s or anything like that, I like well over even money in any bet I do. And the only one I can find in this is Bournemouth and Wolves. For first half, over 1.5 goals is 6-4. Bournemouth, as you know, they were actually very good in the counter last week, but this time the onus is on them to attack, and they want to attack Wolves, so I think that'll leave space for them to, they won't be, like against Liverpool, having everyone behind the ball and trying to break away. And by doing that, Wolves might get in behind and nick a goal or that. Either way, and Bournemouth might get a goal as they're good enough, obviously. Over 1.5, 6-4 in the first half, that's what I go with. Brentford versus Aston Villa. I think Brentford is going down this season. I think there's too many changes, as I said last week. Thomas Frank, if too many players. Wilson now is looking to go. There's just nothing, and he won't be playing either. So I mean, there's a lot of going on, and obviously Mbembo, whatever way to pronounce it, he's gone to United. Too much change there. I think they're going down, and I think Villa will get their first win of the season on Saturday. So Villa to win at 20-23. I was looking at all these earlier on, so after note down here. Burnley versus Sunderland. Sunderland in the first game got a great win. Remember we said it? I thought they scored a goal in the first half. They scored 3 in the second half with the home advantage. These lads had 1 goal between them last season in 2 games, so that would mean it looked like an under 2.5 game, which is hard. You know, I mean, it's still a hard bet to get up under 2.5, just as much as I suppose over 2.5 is getting the right thing. But here's the thing, Sunderland have brought in 12 new signings. Burnley brought in 3, so this could be a completely different game. There could be goals in this game. Again, finding value is another thing. First half, over 1.5 goals, 23-10, almost 5-2. I think that's a very good price for over 1.5 goals in the first half, having 2 teams going for you. Arsenal and Leeds. Arsenal beat United last week. I think they're obviously they're favourites again for this game. They're massive favourites. Like, you can't, again, finding value in this game is very, very, very hard because Arsenal is mad odds on. Arsenal got their victory last week. You know, I thought United deserved more out of the game, if I'm being fair. But Arsenal is Arsenal. They're tough to beat. They're tough to beat, and they're tough to break down. You can't see anything but an Arsenal win here. I can't see Leeds getting a result. Leeds beat Everton on Monday night. But I think now coming to the Emirates will be another hard task for them to get anything out of. Finding value is very hard in this game. Arsenal half-time, full-time 5-6. Crystal Palace versus Forest. I'm flying through this now, just seeing her. Crystal Palace versus Forest. Palace last week 0-0 against Chelsea. They are a hard team to break down. This manager has them like playing well. They're a tough team, and Forest obviously won last week. Palace is playing tonight. This is Thursday night, so Palace is playing on the Conference Trophy tonight. I'm wondering what will they be like on Sunday. I'm just thinking Forest with Wood, and now they've a man coming in, haven't they? I don't think he'll be playing on Sunday. Douglas Luiz. I have both teams to score in this game. A game I wouldn't be confident putting a bet in it, like as I said. And Palace is hard to break down, but I just think after the game during the week, which is Thursday night tonight, Palace might be a bit dodgy in defence. Who knows? Might not be. But again, I wouldn't find value in this game. Both teams to score 8-11. Everton versus Brighton. Everton were playing Leeds on Monday night. Leeds were the better team, in fairness, but it took a penalty to break them down. And Brighton is Brighton, you know. Like, I always found Brighton is a tough team. But Everton being at home, their first game in a new home stadium. Moyes' team again hard to break down. I'm trying to find value in this game. Even though Everton haven't made any signings really, but with Moyes, I think Everton to score a goal on both half 7-2, being the first home game. I just think that's great value, like, you know. So 7-2, you could do that as a single bet because the value in that alone is brilliant. Fulham versus Man United. Again, I was looking at the market there today, and it's finding it very hard to give me something that has value. I thought your man was absolutely brilliant last week, Brian Wimbo. I thought he was very, very good. He's very busy, and he looks coming in off the right, getting his shot off. So he's going to get shots. You seen him last week against Arsenal. He was a handful. Last 10-15 minutes he faded, but you know he was tired. He actually done a lot, you know. So I think he's a man that makes chances and gets goals. I would score with him to score any time at 9-4. I think that's good value. I think United should win this game, but you know, we're trying to bump the value up. I don't know, I forget what price to work because I was looking at it earlier on today. I think they're 11-10 to win the game. I'd sooner say 9-4 him to get a goal, because I think if you see United scoring 2 goals, I'm thinking he's getting one of them. So I'm going for the value, 9-4, him to score anytime. Newcastle versus Liverpool, my team. Looked at the market again. I think McAllister to get booked. I think McAllister's a great man to get booked because he likes putting in tackles and he takes risks, and he's a bit of a dog in midfield. This game was going to be hectic at the start, you better believe it, because of what's going on all week with Isak. And I'm on Twitter the whole time, obviously, and I'm looking at our X, and I'm looking, their fans are back and forth. There's going to be tension in this game. The atmosphere is going to be electric, and it's going to be frantic. The first half is going to be frantic. I go with McAllister. I think he's a great man to get booked up or down any game in the season, and especially this one. I actually didn't write the fucking price down here. Why did I not write the price down? But I have it in my head here. 7-4. He's 7-4 to get booked anytime. And I think that's a bet in that. And finally, my nap. Wouldn't say well. It is my nap, I suppose, but I don't think it's a sure thing. I just think it's good value. And that is Everton just to beat Brighton at at 2-1, I think is a great price, just for one game. Now, can Everton beat Brighton? Yes, they can. Were they good the other night against Leeds? No. Brighton's a good side, as you know, but there's something about, obviously the Liverpool people, obviously Anfield is electric, so it's the working class spectators, the people, the fans, they're really passionate. I think this new stadium is going to be hopping this weekend with Everton playing in their first game in it. So obviously I've never seen the game being played in it. I hope it's as I don't know if it's as intimidating as, for the bet, I'm hoping it's as intimidating as it is in Goodison Park, because I think just for that alone, and even though Leeds deserved the win the other day, it took a penalty. So I mean, if Everton can keep a clean sheet in this game, which is not a far fetch, all they need to do is nick one. 2-1 at home, and it being their first home game, is a very, very good price. So that's my nap for this weekend. So that's it. Made that short and sweet. I'm going to try and make them quick as possible every weekend instead of going on and on about them. But yeah, we got 5 out of 10 last week. We were unlucky with the nap. And sure, I'll have a crack at this again this week. I'll have a few combinations with the singles I do. And I'll do a bet on my nap as well, because I think Everton's a great price. So that's it for my picks for this weekend.